Welcome back to another episode of the Fanatic Brackets. I am your host, Nick, and with me, as always, is my co host, Joel. And today, we are joined for the month of March with the 2023 bracket champion from the Dirty Heelz podcast, our boy, Kofi Weedston. What's going on, Kofi? How's everything?
So I wanted to come on and have my theme music playing in the background. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. But now we
You
in
should
here,
have a
man.
belt
Shout out
for
to
you.
you guys. Yeah, I know. Shout
Yeah.
out to you guys, man. And I'm just back to have more fun, man. Thank you for winning and the t-shirt and everything, man. So I appreciate you guys, man. I'm just head back to have some fun, man. That's it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We appreciate you coming back on,
Yes,
choosing
sir.
another great topic as always. Before I even get into further into the episode, I know there was a. Is there a reason why you chose this topic, the greatest catchphrases? I know we discussed it at the VXS show, but
I wanted to do something fun. I'm Mr. Fun guy. I don't like to be too boring, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I felt a lot of topics. Y'all ran through a lot of topics. And
yeah,
going through your page, it's hard to really find a good topic. And then the topics I had, I was like, oh, they already did this, everything. So I mean, catchphrases is always good because we use wrestling catchphrases every single day, and a lot of people don't even realize they're using them, and they coming from a
yeah.
wrestler or in some sort of way. You know what I'm saying? I remember my grandmother used to say wrestling catchphrase, and I'd be like, yo, you know Stone Cold? She's like, who? I was like, you know what? Never mind. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
that's basically it, man. And I figured, it's a great to debate on, something that's
yeah,
rememberable and it's great to debate on. So, this is something everybody. You don't even have to be a wrestling fan to like catchphrases.
of
You know
course.
what I mean? Like the bad guy in the movie or the good guy in the movie has a cool catchphrase or something. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
this was a great topic, and I'm glad I could bring it here.
it was a great topic. So, before I even get to the episode, I'm going to explain the rules for the listeners who have not yet listened to a previous episode. Basically, the gist of the bracket show is we go matchup by matchup, giving our opinion on which, in this case, catchphrase is better. Whichever participant in this bracket gets 2 to 3 votes, moves on to the next round, all the way to the finals, determining the winner. Like I said, it's an opinion based show, so in this case, it's really different. Some of these people have multiple catchphrases, so it's really our favorite catchphrase, the best catchphrase in our opinion. There's no right or wrong answer, so yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, heading right into the bracket, Kofi, you're our guest. So we're going to start off with the first matchup with you. Daniel Bryan's Yes Chance going up against Swerve's Whose House catchphrase that's been using in AEW. In your opinion, which one is the better catchphrase?
It was crazy as you guys sent me this, and I was like, damn it, this is hard. And
Yeah.
then I added a bunch of more names, and then I was like, shit, those names are hard too. You know what I mean? But this one's definitely hard. Whose House versus the Yes? I'm gonna have to maybe go. I'm gonna go Swerve Strickland right now
Okay.
because I don't know. The Yes chance is powerful, man. But I like Whose House, Swerve's House. So I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. Joel, who do you have? The Yes Chance or Whose House?
I do love Whose House, but I gotta go with Daniel Bryan with the Yes chant. It was a movement, man.
Yeah.
That was a
Facts.
big moment. That was a big moment when that was happening. When Yes was starting to come around. That was around the whole WrestleMania 29 with the no, and then transitioning into WrestleMania 30 with the Yes, and it was just one of those times that they just took over, and it's just still over to this day. Even though he doesn't do it as much, when it does come out, people go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to agree with you, Joel. I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan as well with the Yes Chance. Mainly because of how powerful it still is to this day. Like you said, people are still doing the Yes Chance. Even though he doesn't do it, the fans do it, and that always
Yeah,
gets him hyped up every single time. You just see him do the point the fingers up, and you just say it. He doesn't even have to say it, and the crowd goes crazy. And
yeah,
I love Swerve's
You
Whose House
guys.
thing because every single time Swerve says Whose House, he always says Swerve's house. It always gets the pop out of everyone. I love that catchphrase, but like we said, tons of wrestling shows in the past. No matter if Daniel Bryan's on the card or not, people are always doing the yes chants. You say his name, people do the yes chants. So, as powerful as it was 10 years ago, it's still powerful today in wrestling. So, we're going to have to go with Daniel Bryan on that one. See,
It swerves in like a year or two. Who knows? It could change.
I can't disagree with you guys because you had great points. You made me remember how organic it was back in the day. How you wanted this guy to win. How you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You wanted him to say. You know what I'm saying. So I definitely agree with you because that's what chants are. It's something that's memorable and like you said, 10 years. You know, Danny Bryan's been saying it. So and even when he comes out, so I can't be mad at that. You know.
Yeah, and even if you hear the word yes, you immediately associate that with Daniel Bryan. Same with Swerve with Whose House, but it's like it sticks with you. It gets you hyped up. Even like I said, even if Daniel Bryan's not around, you start the yes chants in the crowd. It gets everyone hyped up. So I had to go with Daniel Bryan on that one. Next matchup, we got similar catchphrases. LA Knight's yeah, and then Macho Man's I can't even do his voice. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't even gonna try that. But Joel, we're gonna start off with you. This one's covered with Kofi. Who has a better catchphrase between the two?
You gotta go with Macho Man. 1000%, I gotta go with Macho Man. Even with LA Knight paying homage, even now with the snap into a Slim Jim, you gotta go with Macho Man. Ooh, he is just too like it's one of those things that everybody's always trying to mimic. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, if you saw a clip of Macho Man, I'm sure you've tried it. It's just one of those catchphrases that everybody always
Yeah.
wants to try, and it's fun. And it's like once you hear "ooh yeah," like Macho Man is about to go off.
You say that, and then you also do like the pose at the same time, the flex, I guess.
Ooh, you could do ooh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's like, you do it every time, it gets you. But yeah, that's a good pick. Good pick. Kofi, who do you think has a better catchphrase, LA Knight or Macho Man?
I gotta go Macho Man. Just because I'm older than you guys, it's like probably one of the main reasons I still watch wrestling. I started watching wrestling. The ooh yeah, when he did that, cream of the crop. I just love Macho Man. It was just the voice. It was everything about him. So I gotta go Macho Man. Don't get me wrong. I like LA Knight because he still has LA Knight. He has Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
LA Knight. Trust me, he's still one of the greats. Like you said, his catchphrase is gonna be, like I said about Strickland, his catchphrase is gonna be one of the best years from now. So but I have to go Macho Man.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna go with Macho Man too. His is more iconic. And yeah, like you said, Kofi, give LA Knight's catchphrase a couple more years, maybe it'll catch on. Bigger than it is now.
Yeah. Very true.
Even though LA Knight's catchphrase, he doesn't have to say it either, and the crowd just goes wild when he says it. Even when he's not even saying the catchphrase, people say yeah in the middle of a promo. And it's insane how over it's gotten since the Impact game, the Impact days. But Macho Man's is just, I think the yeah really sticks with him more than LA Knight. Even though it's similar catchphrases, I think Macho Man's more iconic, so I'm gonna have to go with his catchphrase to hype it up. Next matchup, we have Chris Jericho's many catchphrases. There's really tons to choose from for Chris Jericho.
Yeah, which one we picking?
Up to you guys. I want to leave it up to you guys because there's so many to choose from. You got the Raw is Jericho, the best in the world.
You made the
best
list.
in the world.
Yeah, the list.
We go with you just made the list.
You just made the list. Okay.
We just made the list. Okay. I'm gonna start this one off. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say Ric Flair's "Woo" is better catchphrase than any of Jericho's. I love Jericho's catchphrases. All of his are iconic, no matter which one you choose from. But if you go to any wrestling show ever, I guarantee you there's somebody wooing in the crowd, either before, during, or after a show. People still woo to this day. Like I said, similar to the first two matchups, where even if Ric Flair's not even on the show, people are wooing and wooing a lot. Charlotte Flair is still continuing that woo. So the fact that it still goes on to this day after so many years of going on, that has to be an iconic catchphrase at this point. He even has woo energy drinks that are advertised on AEW every week. So that's even more iconic than that that he trademarked it and made it an energy drink. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Ric Flair on this one to as the better catchphrase. Kofi, who do you think has a better catchphrase between these two?
I'm gonna go Ric Flair just because he has one catchphrase, and that one stuck way more than all of any Chris Jericho's. Don't get me wrong, Chris Jericho is my favorite wrestler, but I'm gonna go with the woo. I got to. I've seen wrestlers, NBA players, rappers.
Yeah,
everyone uses it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go straight Ric Flair.
All right, Joel, who do you think has the better catchphrase?
Yeah, same Ric Flair's. It's too iconic to not go with the woo. Everyone woos. Come on.
Yeah, I mean Jericho has so many classics too. Even the AEW.
Oh no, yeah,
a little
definitely.
bit, a little bit of the bubbly. You have the JAS ones that he does. But
Tola
again,
Rockarola. He's got a couple.
Yeah.
He's got a couple good ones.
Yeah, a couple of good ones. The fact that he had, I mean, yeah, that is true what you said, Kofi, that Jericho didn't have one that stuck with him. But a lot of them did stick for quite some time. It wasn't like it was like a one-time thing and then just dipped. There was so many.
No, yeah, it's just not better than Woo though.
Yeah.
Woo's just too iconic.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Next matchup, we have Kenny Omega. He does the goodbye, good night thing at the end of promos versus the Miz's awesome catchphrase. No pun intended. Joel, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think has the better catchphrase between these two?
So for the Miz, are we doing just the "I'm awesome" chant, or is it like "I'm the Miz and I'm awesome"?
Because I
think that's beating Omega. To me personally, I like the Miz's catchphrase more than Omega's. I think he pulls it out easier. I think it's more organic that he uses it, especially just closing out promos. I know Kenny uses it to close out promos too, but it's just a lot of the ways the Miz uses it, and he's creative with it. So that's why I give the edge to the Miz.
Both of them, I think Kenny Omega's is also organic too, because he just cuts a promo and just ends it, and this feels like it's part of the promo.
Yeah.
So both of them were just as organic as the other, but I'm gonna go with Kenny Omega's. I know with the Miz, you hear in the beginning of this theme song, but the whole thing with the bang, Kenny Omega does the gun hand motion, even during his entrance. But I feel like that one feels and gets you more excited than the Miz's catchphrase. The only thing that I really give the edge to the Miz for is him having it longer than Kenny Omega. That's why I think people leverage towards that one more. But I'm gonna give it to Kenny Omega because I feel like every time he says it, something big happens too. Not every time, but it feels important, and he does it after a big promo every single time during a big feud. So I'm gonna have to say Omega for this one. Kofi, who do you think had the better feud between these two?
I'm gonna go Omega.
Ooh. Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I love the Miz. I love the Miz's catchphrase. But when I first started podcasting, I didn't know how to end the show, and I would end our show like Kenny Omega. All right, see you guys later. Dirty Heelz is out. Bang, and that's how I would end the show. And then it caught on. So I gotta go Kenny Omega because I still do it to this day to end our show. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, it flows smoothly, right? Would you say?
Like I didn't know how to end the show. I was just talking, and then I just remembered Kenny Omega. It was like, "Good night, bang."
Goodbye.
You know, yeah, goodbye, good night, bang. I just remembered. Then I was like, oh, well, good night, guys, bang. You know, and it just happened. So
Yeah.
I say Kenny Omega. I'm
I
gonna
think
go
I
Kenny
think I
Omega. Don't
might
get me
end this
wrong. I
episode with
love
that.
the
Yeah.
Miz. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, the Miz is awesome, no pun intended, but like, and just one word, and yeah, we said that he does
It
say
pisses
I'm the
you off,
Miz.
man. As a heel, he pisses you off, and it makes it that much better, in my opinion. It makes it that much better because it pisses you off when he says something he's actually right about it or wrong about it, and closes his promo. I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome, and you just want to punch him in the face.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I think with me
yeah,
for Kenny Omega's was like I just saw him cut like Nick said, he just cutting a promo one day and he was just like, good night, good day, goodbye. I bid you adieu. Bang. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, that shit was dope. And I just thought he didn't do that all the time. And then I
Yeah.
realized, oh, that's what he does every time. I was like, oh, okay, that's dope. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So when I started like I snatched that little thing from him, I was like, oh, okay, oh, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main reason I have to go Kenny.
yeah. That makes sense. I mean, again, like I said, the Miz, I think, for all I know, I don't know how long Kenny Omega's been doing his catchphrase for. For all I know, it's been the start of AEW. So that's why I said I've just found out about Omega's and caught on with it as time went on. Um, but that's why I feel like the Miz is awesome. Like, I think, yeah, it does get me pissed off a little bit when I hear it, but it fits Kenny Omega and the way he cuts it. I feel like it's a lot better than Miz's. So yeah, Kenny Omega's moves on to the next round in that matchup. This one was a little bit of a change from the original bracket. We got Ron Simmons' damn catchphrase going up against Steve Austin's. Which one do you guys want to go off with? Is it Hell Yeah, Austin
I
316? Which one do
mean,
you want to do
I
that
mean
one?
either. I mean, either way, it's Stone Cold, right? I mean,
I mean, is that
Gotta
your
be
pick?
Stone Cold.
you can pick any of them.
Yeah, yeah.
You can pick
What is
what.
still going on to this day?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
and the way he
so is Ron
like for
Simmons.
me, I know, but for me, the way he created what and
Okay, yeah, that too. Yeah,
the story behind how he created what, I was like, oh wow, it was dope for me. So I was like, and then now everybody's like, what? It's like the yes, like every time someone talks, you're gonna hear what, what? You know what I mean? So I have to go
yeah,
Stone Cold, even
And
if
it's
it's
something
oh hell
so
yeah,
simple.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Even if it's oh give me a oh hell yeah, even if it's um, and that's the bottom line.
Line, yeah.
Stone Cold said,
There's so
like I
many.
don't know, yeah, I gotta go Stone Cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna go Stone Cold too. Even the Austin 316, that's on like you know how many shirts they probably sold of the Austin 316.
Lots.
Fast.
I
Yeah, and
can't
it's
walk off. Yeah.
exactly every single. I think every live event that WWE does, they have like the location 316 on a shirt. The fact that they do that
Yeah.
everywhere you go, you can't get around that. Even the what chance, you can't. Even in 10 years from now, 20 years from now, people are still going to be doing the what chance in the middle of a heel promo. So that's always going to live on. The same thing with the woo. That's going to live on no matter who's at a show. And it's lasted for so long at this point, over 20 years. And it's like, shit, for that long, this has lasted. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Ron Simmons is damn iconic too. He just shows up, says it, then leaves. And it's like, but he does it at a perfect timing too, which is hilarious. Um, so I love Ron Simmons, but Steve Austin is more iconic and more uh it's the presence of it.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ric Flair. Steve Austin doesn't have to be there, and he does the what chance to 36 well, not 316, but a hell yeah, 316 days coming up too. So um that's gonna be I just think Steve Austin is more iconic. Another sweep right here. Next
Yeah, it's
matchup.
crazy. Hold on, real quick
Sorry.
before we go on. It's interesting how every catchphrase he did caught on. Like that's just amazing to me. I know that's a random thing to say, but like that's so crazy to me that we just knocked off a bunch of his catchphrases and all of them are over and still used to this day. It's nuts.
Exactly. Exactly.
Pretty much
Same,
true.
same thing with Rick. Rick Flair only had one, and it's still gone for as long as it did. It's still
I mean,
going on.
even the one with like the Rolex wearing,
Yeah.
I was about to say that. That's a catchphrase too.
Yeah.
Rolex wearing. Because if you want to talk about that one, we had, like I said, NBA players do that. Rappers are doing it. Like that one itself is an iconic one itself. Also,
I know it's.
So, like,
I don't know if you count the his movement when he just walks, like how the walk.
the
Yeah, the
little,
walk that he does. That goes along with it.
yeah, that would call that kind of like a catchphrase. I mean,
It's a move. For not a phrase, but like it's a signature, I guess, to his move.
to move.
Yeah, like the Rock when he puts his arm up, that's the Rock. When Daniel Bryan does the yes chant, he points in the sky. That's part of the. It's part of the chant, I guess. So that's what makes it better than just saying it. And then obviously LA Knights when he points to his name, but yeah, it's what goes along with it makes it even better. But next matchup we have DX's Suck It going up against Kurt Angle's. I'm gonna go with It's Damn True. That's the only Kurt Angle catchphrase I think he says.
It's true. Damn true.
It's damn true.
With a broken freaking neck.
Yes, that too. But I feel like, I guess that's what counts as a catchphrase too.
He was like a gold medalist. Also, he had like one. He was also screaming. He was also a gold medalist all the time.
Yeah, I just feel like I feel like that one is just like him hyping himself up. Never really thought of it as a catchphrase. I guess you could because he says it a lot. But yeah, Kofi, I'm going to start off with you. This one, who do you think had the better catchphrase, DX or Kurt Angle?
DX wins. DX. I got suspended from school for saying "suck it."
Who didn't?
Yeah, folks.
They're still doing it to this day.
Exactly.
To this day, I seen little kid at school. I was like, man, he don't even watch wrestling. I was like, what he know about that?
What he know about that?
Yeah, I'm saying you're too young to be doing that. But if you look back at it, we did it too. So it's like,
yeah. But I gotta go straight DX.
Joel, who do you have better catchphrase, DX or Kurt Angle?
It's DX, man. Suck It is just, it's worldwide. DX.
Yeah.
The Suck It is just worldwide.
Like the fact that they said we have 2 words for you, and then they suck it. The fact, like, let's think about that.
That became so big. That's why.
Yeah.
People that suck their, their private parts, and they're going like this at the same time. Like, yo, that was crazy.
That's crazy.
Just bananas.
You even go with, I mean, this is really Triple H's, I guess, but he goes, Are you ready? But he says it a lot with DX too. The fact that even some people say I have 2 words for you. The Gun Club uses it now in AEW. Even though they're not really saying suck it, they're still saying I got 2 words for you. I know Billy Gunn was a part of it. So that kind of goes hand in hand, but I'm going to go with DX too because of how impactful it is today. You see DX, you see the green lights, people put the X up. That's also something that I said before in the last matchup. You say I got 2 words for you, the suck it thing, and then also the X up at the same time too. The gestures just do it and go along with it, which makes it even funner and better than Kurt Angle's. I know Kurt Angle's, because the reason why I said Kurt Angle's the broken freaking neck thing, that actually happened. So I wouldn't say that's an actual catchphrase. You're just saying that you won a gold medal with the broken freaking neck. I don't know if that's a catchphrase for his.
It could be a catchphrase, but it also is a fact. And don't you forget it, Nick.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a fact. It's a fact. More of a fact than a catchphrase, I guess. But yeah, I gotta go with DX. On that one, another clean sweep back to back. Next matchup, we got the New Age Outlaws. Oh, you didn't know catchphrase going up against the New Day Rocks. Joel, who do you think had a better catchphrase than these great tag teams? And this match actually happened in real life, which is a crazy deal. If you think about it.
I'm gonna go with New Day just because of how over it was when it happened.
Yeah.
Like, I know New Age Outlaws got people chanting with them during their intro, but the New Day, I feel like it was just more organic and everybody did it because it was just so easy. It was New Day. You know what I mean? Like it was just so
Yeah.
easy to chant. And there was a time that they were just like the biggest thing in the company that had the whole building chanting that. So that's why I have to go with New Day Rock.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Kofi, who would you say? New Day or New Age Outlaws?
Outlaws. I gotta go New Age Outlaws. I love the New Day. I'm one of the biggest fans, but I gotta go New Age Outlaws. Because I remember about to be getting into fights, and you'd be like, "Oh, you didn't know? You would have asked somebody." Like I remember, I
Yeah.
remember being this. I remember being in school, and we would make the tag team titles, and we were the New Age Outlaws. You know what I mean? Me and my friend, I had a
That's
friend named
all.
Ravon. We was the New Age. Hold on one second, I gotta open my door. But
You good, man.
New Age Outlaws. Yeah,
So yeah, New Age
definitely New
Outlaws.
Age Outlaws. Yeah, just because it was just to me it was iconic. Like they had their own. It wasn't even a suck it. They had their own. If you didn't know, like I don't, ladies and gentlemen, like the whole
Yeah.
fast thing he said. Like I don't know. I just love the New Age Outlaws at that time. I still love the New Day. Don't get me wrong, and I still am in my crib, New Day. But I gotta go New Age Outlaws.
Both of these are equally as good. It was hard for me to choose this one.
Yeah, this was a tough one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the New Day mainly because of like I love the New Age Outlaws one, but the New Day, it for me personally, it always gets me hyped up, and like even when they were heels, that was getting over too. When they said the New Day and then they do the dances in the middle of the ring, and New Day rocks, that got over when it did at first. I agree with you in that, Joel.
At one time,
Even
it
to
was
this
New Day
day,
sucks.
Yeah.
yeah, New Day sucks. That got over too. Even with
But look
Big
how they
E's,
turned
like,
it around.
yeah, they turned it around and made it a positive thing. And then there was one point where Big E was doing the intro. That was, I guess, also a catchphrase. Um, and either way, even with Big E out now, you still have the New Day doing it, and it still gets people hyped up. You hear the theme song. It's a new day in the beginning, and that never gets old.
Be sour. Oh,
Exactly.
don't you dare be sour. Clap your hands and feel that. That is a catchphrase.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
was
Yeah.
fire. Not gonna
Oh
lie.
man.
There's so many that they've come up with that gotten over and still attaches to their name. So I guess I know the New Day's catchphrases aren't as big as Steve Austin's, but it's still multiple that got over at the same
Yeah.
time and still kind of continue to this day. Which is even
They make
crazier.
sure you ain't booty.
Yeah, they make sure that you win booty. In the bootios things too. Yeah, yeah. The more we talk about it, the more we keep thinking of them. It's like, oh damn, I forgot about that one. Yeah, so it's just crazy. But I feel like the New Day had more that caught on with the audience and was just uh they got the audience more hyped up than the New Age Outlaws catchphrases. So I'm gonna go with the New Day there. I guess they move on to the next round too. Then the last matchup in the first round, we got The Rock's whichever catchphrase I guess you want to choose from that one because he's got a couple too. Versus Hulk Hogan, what you gonna do catchphrase. Kofi, who do you think had the better catchphrase?
Don't get me wrong. I love Hulk Hogan. I love the what you gonna do, brother, with the 9-inch pythons. Come, you know what I mean? I love Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? But I gotta go to Rock, Poontang Pa. So many. What else? He has the
Eyebrow raising.
oh no, he has
Late
listen.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Finally, The Rock has come back. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Like just so many. It's I don't know. I have to go to Rock, and not even his catchphrases. His insults become catchphrases instantly. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. The Cody Crybaby is even getting over right now,
Yeah,
which
the
is even
Cody
crazy.
Crybaby. It's over. Cody Crybaby. So I gotta go with The Rock.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with The Rock too. Mainly because yeah, same thing with The Rock. I mean, same thing with Steve Austin. It's like so many have gotten over. He has so many of them in his theme songs. That you hear so many of his theme songs, you can kind of like point out a couple of his catchphrases. He also says The Rock says, back in the day. I remember that catchphrase.
Mouth.
Yeah, Yeah, and there's so many that you can basically come up with the top of your head that he's had said in the past and become catchphrases. So I love Hulk Hogan's. Even you can count brother as a catchphrase for Hulk Hogan. Um,
Brother.
Yeah.
even if you try to mimic Hulk Hogan, he's his brother at the end of almost every sentence. He calls brother to everybody, which is insane. But The Rock had just had so many compared to Hulk Hogan that even just one, you can say three that's more iconic than Hulk Hogan's brother catchphrases. So I'm going to go with The Rock there. Joel, who would you choose?
Yeah, it's The Rock. It's not even close. Love Hogan's. Eat your vitamins, say your prayers. The 9-inch pythons, all dope, but The Rock just had hitters.
Yeah, a lot of hitters. A lot of hitters. So yeah, The Rock moves on to the next round, down to the final 8.
Oh my
Second round
god.
matchup: Daniel Bryan's Yes Chance versus Macho Man's Ooh Yeah catchphrase. I'm going to start this one off, and I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan's Yes Chance. I don't know if that's a little bit of a hot take, but I'm going to say yes for that one. Um, and the reason why I say yes is because of how we said this in the first round, how impactful it's been for the last 10 years. I think that one, if I'm not mistaken, I think that one became more of like an accident, I guess. I think he said it in a promo and just caught on and everyone started saying it. Um, if I'm wrong, either way, it's still cool that it started 10 years ago and still living strong to this day. Um, Even though, like I said, Macho Man's is pretty more iconic, I think Daniel Bryan's will live out and live much longer in wrestling than Macho Man's. Um, so I'm gonna have to go with Daniel Bryan on that one. Joel, who would you say had a better catchphrase?
Oh, we're going with Macho Man, baby. Come on. The ooh yeah, the cream of the crop, the snap into a Slim Jim. I could go on and on.
Yeah,
Macho Man is like the first guy that actually had a personality that was crazy, but not, but was still like a human being. Like back then, it was either you were just a regular guy like Hogan, or you were like going crazy like a warrior or something. So it was good that Macho Man was like in the middle of that. And I think he was just such an iconic character, and it even shows with all the guys there now saying that he's like one of their big influences. So I think Macho Man gets that dub for me.
yeah, I guess. Kofi, tiebreaker here. Who do you think had a better catchphrase between these two?
Kofi.
Gotta go Macho Man. This is tough. Danny Bryan is dope, but I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Macho Man just because. Ooh yeah, it's really yes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
but and then you have it's our very so iconic that they still playing the commercials, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Slim Jim commercials. They still got him on the face of it. Um, I gotta go Macho Man.
I mean, I guess you could say that kind of influenced Daniel Bryan's or LA Knights. Yeah,
Yeah,
because his
more
was
of
really the
anything.
first.
Well, yeah.
So I guess like that did have more influence on every other catchphrase that had the word yeah in it, but people just changed it up a little bit. So I understand that aspect, but I'm looking at like how fans interact with the yeah, because that also plays a big portion with the catchphrases, is how the fans interact with it and how it continues with the crowd before, after, and during a show. Um,
Yes.
I don't really hear people
So,
saying machos instead
but
when
it
I'm
was
doing an
different.
impression.
But it was different back then. You were captivated by Macho Man's catchphrases. Ooh, yeah, you were captivated by it. It wasn't meant to be cheered with him. It was more to grab your attention towards him. Now it's more used. It started more in the Attitude Era with like getting people to respond to it. Because if you
Yeah,
even think about like Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, you don't really get like an interaction with that. But it's a great fucking catchphrase. But there's no interaction with it, so does it really count? You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things.
yeah, that is true. That is
Yeah, I
true. I
agree.
guess.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, that makes
Because I
sense.
honestly thought about that earlier too, about the best there was, the best, and I was like, well, that kind of is a catchphrase, but we didn't. I was like, do you consider it a catchphrase if you didn't interact with it, or you do interact? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
consider it a catchphrase if they like that's their main thing they used regardless of if we interacted or, you know what I'm saying, if they gave us a chance to interact or, you know what I'm saying, that's how we, you know what I'm saying? Like if they use it all the time and they cut a promo and they said it 5 times out of 10, that's their catchphrase to me, if you ask me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I kind of saw it in your perspective, Joel, but I get it. Like, it wasn't really that interactive back then, but I guess it is more now. But Ric Flair too. If you started the next matchup, Ric Flair's Woo versus Kenny Omega's Goodbye and Good Night. The Ric Flair his Woo, that was more. I don't know if that was interactive back then. Maybe people did. It just we didn't see it.
I think as the years went, it started to become more interactive,
Iconic,
and more just people repeating it after him.
Yeah, true.
So
I guess.
So I would count that as interacting. Yeah, I would count that as interaction.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start this one off, and I'm gonna go with Ric Flair's. I think that's never gonna die down ever. Not saying Kenny Omega has a bad catchphrase. I think people will eventually, if he stops saying it, like as of when he comes back, I don't think people will care or realize it. I don't think they would stop caring. They just probably wouldn't realize that he hasn't said it in such a long time. Like I said, if you go to any wrestling show before, especially in the pre-show, people are going to woo out the building. Even if Ric Flair or Charlotte isn't even on the card. The fact that people are still saying it, and if one person says it, everyone's going to say it too. It's not like it's like a chant. You know what I mean? There'll be yes chants. I would say it's on the same level as that. So I'm going to go with Ric Flair, and I think his is better than Kenny Omega's. Joel, who do you think has a better catchphrase?
I think I'm going with Ric Flair. I'm going with Ric Flair because Woo is just synonymous with Ric Flair. I think Kenny Omega's catchphrase, even though it's a dope catchphrase, you could give it to in a year if people start forgetting about it, you could throw it on anybody like a Will Ospreay, let him do it and it'll still be cool. I think Ric Flair's Woo worked because it was Ric Flair. I don't think if Hogan was running around saying Woo, it would have worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I give it to Ric Flair, because Woo is such a simple word, and to get it over the way it is, all these years later still, it's just incredible. It's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
So I gotta give it to Flair.
That's a good point. Kofi, who do you have?
Straight Ric Flair. I forgot I even have a Ric Flair shirt in the room. Woo, one. You know what I mean?
Woo.
I'm gonna go Ric Flair. Like I said, it's more iconic. More people saying it. Definitely when I get to wrestling matches, or I could just be hype about something, and it's woo, like I'm having a good day. Woo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll start doing the dance and all that. You know what I mean? So I definitely gotta go Ric Flair.
Yeah, you gotta do it every single time you hear woo. You can't. That's like it goes hand in hand. Once you say the woo, you gotta do the signature dance thing. So that goes hand in hand. Ric Flair gets the clean sweep with this one again. Next matchup. This is gonna be a difficult one. We got DX versus Steve Austin. Joel, who do you think had a better catchphrase between these two?
Steve Austin.
Ooh.
A thousand percent.
Yeah.
All of his catchphrases. I love Suck It. I love DX, but Stone Cold was just a few levels above them with the catchphrases and how over they are. And again, a simple word like "what" becoming so big and becoming the top selling shirt in a company just by this man just saying "what." That's why I gotta give it to Stone Cold. Just the way, like we talked about before, the way he got so many catchphrases over, and that they all worked and were all huge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Kofi, who would you say had a better catchphrase between these two?
Gotta go Steve Austin too. Joel explained everything. Like, yeah, Suck It was cool, and I remember, saying it, get suspended from school, but like even this.
Yeah. Just a gesture alone.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to have to do it like this. When I was younger.
Yeah, that's how we did it when we was younger. We do this.
I wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah, but I gotta go Steve Austin, hands down.
Oh yeah. This one was also difficult because like if you think about the DX Sucket one, it had different generations doing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We were
Yeah.
kids when we were doing that. And you had adults who wouldn't necessarily do it in like a public place, I guess, but they still had like grown ass men, grown ass adults doing it too. And then you have Steve Austin, on the other hand, who had multiple catchphrases get over and still be used to this day. Um, so because of that slight edge, I'm gonna have to give it to Steve Austin for this one. Um, Again, Are You Ready is also a good one. You hear those three words. You don't even have to play the theme song. You just hear the first three words, and then you automatically think of DX. Um, and both of them are just equally as good, I guess, with catchphrases. But Steve Austin, that's also something that will never die, no matter how many years you're living. You know, you just hear what, hell yeah, or 316. That it gets over every single time, no matter if he's on the show or not. So I'm gonna have to go with Steve Austin. Another clean sweep in this matchup, in this round.
Mm.
Last matchup in the second round, we got the New Day versus The Rock. Kofi, who do you think had the better catchphrase?
Gotta go around. Gotta go around. I still say Poontang Pot to this day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to Rock. Yes, like I said, he has so many. I would have liked to say New Day because New Day does rock, man, and it's so dope, and they're really chanting it right now. But I'm gonna go to Rock.
yeah. I think I'm gonna go with The Rock too, mainly because of um every time, and no matter if he comes back for like, let's say if was out for another 3 months, he comes back as a babyface. He always starts off with finally, and The Rock is cooking. Another thing that kind of gets along outside of WWE and wrestling, I feel like a lot of people, not even his eyebrow raising thing, without him saying a word, he just does the eyebrow raise, and a lot of people do that. It's also
Yeah.
incorporated in just pop culture in general. If you think about it too, The Rock is obviously a Hollywood star now, so he kind of, you know, I don't want to say he uses it in his movies, but like I'm pretty sure if you ask like one of his coworkers that he works with, they'll probably do one of his catchphrases out of like a handful of them. You know what I mean? So the fact that he's bringing all this stuff outside of WWE is even better. So I'm gonna go with The Rock on there. Joel, who would you choose?
You gotta go sweep with The Rock. I mean, he made SmackDown a word. They put it in the dictionary because of Lay the SmackDown. That's what are we doing? That's crazy. You
It
gotta go
wasn't a
with The
word,
Rock
was it?
just for that. No, he made the word
I
SmackDown.
didn't even, I didn't even know that. I
Yeah,
thought
like
it
it was
I
was.
didn't
only put
either,
in the
but that's
dictionary. It was
crazy.
yeah, it was put in the dictionary
I,
because
I
of
do
him.
remember him. I do remember him being like the first person you ever heard like The Rock's gonna lay the smackdown on your candy ass. Look, that's The Rock
Yeah,
will lay the smackdown on your candy ass.
yeah,
Like
I know I know he
yeah.
created it in WWE, but I didn't know it was like I didn't know it was like I thought it was a word beforehand. I'm like, what the hell?
No, yeah, no, yeah. It went into the dictionary. I'm sure people have said it before him, but it went into the dictionary because of him, and then they named SmackDown because of him.
Yeah, I knew that
Because of
part,
a
but it was like
catchphrase. That's nuts.
that's insane. Now, wow, I didn't even know that. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's dope. Imagine be able to create a word.
that's
Exactly. I'm
fine.
gonna start thinking. I'm
He
gonna start thinking
he
of a few.
discovered it. He discovered it.
Exactly. Yeah. Uh, exactly. So we are at the final four of this bracket. First matchup in the final four, we got Macho Man, uh, versus Ric Flair's Woo. Um, I want to start this one off. I want to go with the Woo, mainly because of how I guess mainstream it is. Like you said, Kofi, rappers use it. You know, I have seen Ric Flair in commercials doing the Woo. Um, he, no matter where you are, if you see a wrestling fan at a wrestling show, someone's gonna say it, even if it's just one person one time. Uh, you can't get that out of wrestling. Even it's crazy to think that like it's. I know you can say he has another catchphrase too, but just one word, no matter how many O's you attach to it, that Woo is gonna get over. Like I said, Charlotte Flair is keeping it alive. Um, the fact that like I feel like if Charlotte Flair probably wasn't in it in WWE, I don't think the Woo would still be continuing on. maybe it would have. I don't know. But I think it's still gonna be something that's gonna live on forever. Compared to Macho Man's catchphrase. So I'm gonna go with Ric Flair with that. Joel, who do you think has a better catchphrase?
I love Macho Man, but it's Ric Flair. Woo is just, we've talked about it. It's just iconic. Like, you said everything. Like, we've said everything in a couple of last rounds. It's just, woo, it's Ric Flair, man. It's two claps and a
Yeah,
Ric Flair. Like, it's just so iconic.
yeah, that is true. Kofi to end this matchup up.
Gotta go Rick. Like it's on. Like I love Macho Man, you know, and they was around the same era too. Let's think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I still think Rick's. I'm still gotta go Rick because the high flying, limousine riding, jet. You know what I'm saying? I still gotta go Ric Flair.
yeah, that is true. That is true. So Ric Flair gets a sweep there. Other Final Four
Oh,
matchup:
man.
Steve Austin versus The Rock. Kofi, who do you think had the
Oh,
better
man.
catchphrase? The catchphrases, because it's difficult. They should have been the finals, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, I wish I could give it a draw. I really
Uh,
do wish I could give it a draw because these guys were hand in hand, kind of like creating catchphrases on each other on the low. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Just say it, trying to make each other laugh and stuff. I'm gonna go Steve Austin.
Ooh. Okay. Not a bad. Either way, no matter who you choose, it's gonna be a great pick. That's how I
Yeah,
see
I
it.
gotta go Steve. It was tough, man. Like I want to go to Rock bad, but I'm gonna go Steve Austin.
Which catchphrase of Steve Austin's is your favorite? I should ask that.
I'm gonna say what? I'm just gonna go with the what catchphrase because it's like it's still being utilized today, and no matter what wrestling organization you go to,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
Wow, yeah, that is. Wow,
the
yeah.
Mhm.
fans are gonna what you. So I gotta go what.
Yeah, that is true. Joel, look at it that way. Choose your favorite Rock catchphrase and choose your favorite Austin catchphrase and choose a better one between the two. Because there's multiple you could choose from here. It's kind of hard to choose.
Yeah.
I'm. I gotta give it to Austin.
Okay.
Austin.
Okay.
Oh
That
yeah, I
is.
gotta give it to Austin. Not by much, but Austin tops Rock.
Yeah. I mean, Steve Austin already won this round, but I'm going to give it to The Rock anyways because I don't want him to get swept at this one. The Rock has so The Rock has so many as well. I always loved his insults. I think that's what always captivated The Rock with his catchphrases. Yeah, finally, and if you smell The Rock is cooking isn't really disses, but a lot of his ones, something with candy ass is always iconic. I feel like if he's trying to diss somebody, it becomes a catchphrase. I think that's creative even though I don't think he was trying to start a catchphrase. I think it just caught on with so many people. The
Like
fact
the
that he
one
was
catchphrase he
better.
used, the one catchphrases he uses, the Rock wants you to. This is what the Rock wants you to do. Take that, shine it up real shiny, turn it sideways, and I mean, so it's. I understand, man. It's very, very hard to pick between these two because if you
Yeah,
ask me
Yeah.
honestly, these two probably have the best catchphrases in all of wrestling.
And these two are just best on the mic, period, besides catchphrases.
yeah,
Um, and the fact that like it happened during around the same time, pretty sure going up against each other and saying these catchphrases just makes this matchup particularly even better. But even though Steve Austin already won, uh, The Rock also has great catchphrases to this day, just using his words and creating new things. Um, yeah, now we have a final two. We're down with Ric Flair's Woo versus Steve Austin's mini catchphrases. Joel, I want to start with you with this one. Who do you have, Ric
I knew
Flair
you
or
was. Go-
Steve Austin?
I knew you was gonna fucking start with me. Um. Oh
Yeah.
man, the Woo is iconic. Stone Cold has many that are just incredible, but give me a hell yeah, the Austin 316. But the woo is the woo, and I gotta go with Ric Flair.
Okay.
It's just I just think it's so iconic, not only in the wrestling world, but as we've talked about, just in everywhere outside in sports, just in the culture. Woo, everybody knows what Woo is. Everybody knows that it
Yeah.
affiliates with Ric Flair. Even, which is crazy that you don't even know Ric Flair as a wrestler. Some people just know Ric Flair as Woo, which is nuts
Yeah.
to me. But yeah, I have to
Yeah.
give it to Ric Flair.
Okay. Kofi, who would you choose? Ric Flair or Steve
I'm
Austin?
gonna go Steve Austin.
Ooh.
Ooh, putting Nick in the hot seat. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The Woo is very iconic, and Ric Flair is very iconic and stuff. But Stone Cold was hitting back to bats. He
Very
had so
true.
many
Very
that was
true.
fire. And like I said, if we just think of one chant, like even if he made it cool to curse, think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
SOB,
Yeah.
the middle finger. Like I gotta go. I'm gonna go Stone. I love Ric Flair. I love the woo. I love high flying. You know what I'm saying? I love that. But I'm gonna go Stone Cold.
Ooh. Damn. Now
We
I'm in the
put
hot
Nick
seat.
in the hot seat. Let's go, Nick. Your
Okay.
final
So
answer.
both of these guys have great catchphrases. Um, so iconic in different ways, but if I were had to choose one of them, I would have to go with Ric Flair's "Woo," and I'm gonna go with
Mm.
him because it only took one word and pretty much. I know he has two, but it took him one main catchphrase to get over his entire. I'm not saying his catchphrase is what got him over it, kinda, but you have one catchphrase that stuck with everybody. You know, the limousine riding, Rolex, that's catchphrase. It's cool, but he doesn't use it often. He does say here and there, but the woo is what sticks out to everybody. All it took was one catchphrase that stuck with him for most of his career. Steve Austin has great catchphrases. He had multiple that got over well, but the fact that Ric Flair stuck with one throughout most of his career, that's what that's what I find amazing about his catchphrase, that he only used one main one. So that's why I had to go with the Ric Flair there. Ric Flair pretty much almost swept every single round, except for the finals, which is crazy. Now that I think about it, I don't
Well,
think we had
because he went up
any.
against Stone Cold, man.
Yeah,
Stone Cold.
yeah,
Oh, that was a tough one for me. It's just Woo, man. But
yeah,
Stone Cold's
It's
not a
Stone
bad answer
Cold, man.
either. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Just the matchup was insane. I mean, I feel like if it was, I thought The Rock. I mean, the whole randomized thing just happened, and I guess the matchup happened this way. Um, but yeah, I guess Ric Flair has the best catchphrase of all time between this bracket, which is pretty
And
cool.
harder. Pause. Pause.
Yeah,
The further it got.
yeah, exactly. Thank you, Kofi, for coming on again. Really appreciate it. Had a great time here. Do you want to plug in your
fun
stuff where people
bracket,
can find
fun
you?
ass bracket.
Yeah,
Make sure you go follow Dirty Heelz on Instagram, Dirty Heelz_132, Dirty Heelz podcast on YouTube. Also, I have another podcast. I'm partnered with Jabba Tears for the Sped Ed Kids. So definitely go look up Jabba Tears podcast and type in Sped Ed Kids, man. You look us up, man.
of course. We're definitely gonna tag your stuff in the description and of course on social media. So make sure everyone listening to this go follow Kofi and wherever you can find all of his platforms. Again, thank you again for coming on. This is the Fanatic Brackets Season 2, Episode 3. I am Nick, and of course, it's Joel that's with me, and Kofi, and we'll see you guys next time.
Gotcha.
Wait.